The Oklahoma City Thunder completed a masterclass in two-way basketball, overwhelming the Denver Nuggets 125-93 in a dominant Game 7 performance that now sends them to the Western Conference Finals. What began as a tightly contested series culminated in a definitive statement. OKC is not just the future of the Western Conference. They're here now. From the opening tip, Oklahoma City played with urgency, precision, and defensive discipline. Denver, despite having the reigning MVP Nikola Jokić, was systematically unraveled by OKC's relentless pace and physicality. In this video, we'll break down the game through a strategic lens, analyzing what worked, what failed, and how both franchises must respond next, both in the next round and in the next season. Welcome to Gintotski Sports, your spot for all things sports. From legendary moments and big-time plays to inspiring stories and deep dives, we bring you the content that keeps the game alive. If you love sports as much as we do, hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. The Thunder's performance in Game 7 was not just a win. It was a blueprint for sustainable playoff basketball. Let's evaluate their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats as they prepare for the Western Conference Finals. Oklahoma City's defensive communication and switchability were elite. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander once again led from the front with 35 points, but it was the team's ability to force 23 turnovers and turn them into 37 points that broke Denver's structure. Jalen Williams, with his 24-point performance and confident mid-range game, emerged as a second star. Their spacing, ball movement, and composure in transition gave them a clear edge. Despite the margin of victory, OKC's rebounding continues to be a concern. Chet Holmgren's slender frame was challenged in earlier games, and against a physical front court like Minnesota's, led by Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. This could be a vulnerability. Additionally, their bench production remains inconsistent in high-pressure moments. The Thunder's youth is their greatest opportunity. With SGA, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Josh Giddey all under 26, their ceiling hasn't even been touched. Their opponent in the WCF, Minnesota, is stylistically similar, young, athletic, and defensive-minded, meaning OKC has an opportunity to set the tone early in Game 1. In experience, this team has never been this deep in the playoffs. The moment is getting bigger, and every possession in the conference finals will be magnified. Additionally, fatigue may begin to affect core starters if the bench can't hold leads. The strategy moving forward hinges on controlling pace and limiting turnovers. Minnesota thrives in the half court with suffocating perimeter defense. OKC will need to push tempo off her bounds, attack early in the shot clock, and force Gobert into uncomfortable perimeter switches. Defensively, the Thunder must wall off the paint. Towns and Edwards can create from anywhere, so the emphasis should be on high ball pressure and crowding the elbow. Look for Coach Mark Daigneault to mix in more zone principles and corner traps to disrupt Minnesota's offensive timing. And most importantly, the Thunder must continue to value the ball. Their offensive efficiency is elite when they stay under 12 turnovers per game. Against Minnesota's size, that discipline will be non-negotiable. Denver's Game 7 collapse wasn't about talent, it was about fatigue, mismatches, and structural flaws that finally caught up with them. Let's assess their season and what must change heading into 2026. Nikola Jokić remains the most efficient offensive engine in the league. His ability to create out of the high post, control tempo, and draw double teams opens up consistent shot quality for others. Jamal Murray, when healthy, remains an elite shot creator. The team's playoff pedigree is still intact. Depth. Denver's bench production all season was volatile. Without Bruce Brown or Jeff Green from last year's championship team, the second unit lacked stability. Game 7 exposed this problem with poor spacing and no real scoring punch beyond the starting five. The offseason gives Denver a chance to reset their rotation. Young players like Peyton Watson and Christian Braun showed flashes. Targeting a reliable sixth man and mobile frontcourt depth in free agency or via trade could reshape the second unit overnight. Time and durability. Murray's health has been unpredictable, and Jokic logged heavy minutes all season. Fatigue is real, and their aging supporting cast, particularly Reggie Jackson and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, may limit flexibility moving forward. First, Denver must reevaluate its bench. The playoffs proved that Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. can't be relied upon to carry secondary scoring loads when Jokic is doubled. The front office needs to find an athletic, shot-creating guard off the bench, someone who can play with or without Murray and alleviate offensive pressure. Second, the Nuggets must reestablish their defensive identity. They allowed too much dribble penetration, particularly in transition, and gave up far too many open threes in Game 7. Whether it's scheme adjustments or acquiring a versatile 3 and D wing, this must be addressed. And finally, Denver must preserve Jokic. A backup big who can spell him for 10 to 12 quality minutes could prolong his season and improve their postseason stamina. Game 7 was a revelation. It announced the Thunder as a legitimate title contender and exposed the defending champions' vulnerabilities. Oklahoma City moves forward with momentum, clarity, and purpose. Denver heads into the offseason with questions, and just enough time to answer them. For full highlights, expert commentary, and in-depth film breakdowns of the Western Conference Finals, subscribe and stay locked in. Thanks for watching Gintotski Sports. If that video hit home or gave you something to think about, drop a like and let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that bring the heart of sports to life. Until next time, stay inspired and keep chasing greatness.